Hey YouTube, how you guys doing? This is Silver Husky again. Wanted to do a follow-up video on the one that I posted up yesterday about Mercury dimes and what are full bands versus non-full bands. I wanted to get into a little bit more, today's topic being how to grade a Mercury dime. And of course, you know, there's different methods of grading different coins, but I want to talk about the Mercury dimes today because that's one that I'm a little bit more familiar with, and as I start to learn about the other types of coins, I can show some of the different varieties and things like that. But specifically today, I want to talk about the Mercs. So let's get into it. Right here, this is a coin book, which I recommend if you are just getting started and learning about different types of coins, that you check out coin books, and they're going to tell you some pretty interesting facts. Obviously, you have different types of coin books. These are the ones that are available through this company. There's some other ones that might be a little bit more comprehensive than these, but they are pretty neat, and they even give a little bit of background behind the coin that you're talking about, or the one that you're collecting. This one specifically, the Mercury dime, you can see the first year of issue is 1916, all the way on the top left, and it goes all the way up until 1945. A few extra slots for some of the different varieties you might find. One that's not mentioned here is a 42 over 41. There was a little mint mark stamping over where there was a 2 that was very clearly visible over the 1. And I don't have one. However, I could talk about some of the things that you would be looking for. Now, obviously, this is a very incomplete set, but I do have quite a few. One of the earliest ones you can find is the 1916, and of course I just found this one going through a bucket of loose coins at the local coin shop, and it's nothing significant. This one has obviously 22 million that were made, so that is a very, very high number. But right next to it, this is the holy grail of the Mercury dimes, the 1916D. Only 264,000 of those were minted, and that is, as I understand it, the smallest mintage number of any of them. If you look at it around, there's some that are like 3 million, 1.8, 1.8, etc. But there's not any other ones that are anywhere close to the hundreds of thousands as that one was. Some of these are, you have like this one, 56 million were made. So 1937 is a pretty common year. And then down here you have 159 million. So the 1945s are definitely not a common date. But going back to this one, 264,000, if you find one of those, that's a coin that could potentially be in the thousands depending on the condition. Because what happens over time, especially one being this old, over 100 years old, over time they get destroyed, they get lost, they get melted back down into something else, right? And they will go missing. So I guarantee you, even though that many were minted, that many are not available. They don't exist. It'd be a fraction of that number. And what that fraction is, nobody really knows. But again, that's something you're looking for. You're looking for these, and these are called key dates, right? Certain dates and mint marks that were in a very limited production. Honestly, one that's in the, let's give another example here. 1.1 million or 1.2 million. A 1921 would be a year that you would look for because it's such a low mintage, right? And there are other ones like that as well. So that's the first thing you're going to look for is it a key date? The second thing you're going to want to look for is the quality of the coin. Obviously, this one is not in the best shape. It's seen better days. It was probably heavily in circulation before it finally got pulled out and saved. But then you have one like this. Yes, this is a very, very common date at 55 million, but for the age of it, it's over 100 years old. It's in pretty decent shape. And you can find some other ones like that too. Here's one, again, not a common, or very common date, not anything rare, but in great condition for a 100-year-old coin, right? There's just a couple other examples. You'll find some that are just in really lousy condition. That one's not so bad, but like one like this, that's pretty lousy condition. However, it is an old coin, and it would be expected that not many old coins would survive in such great shape. So that's the first thing you want to look for. Second thing, I guess. First thing would be, is it a key date? Second thing is the condition. Now, once you're beyond the condition, I will say that a lot of collectors look for eye appeal, so something with pretty cool toning, different coloration. You see a little bit of purple in that one. You have some other ones, like this one's got some pretty neat, interesting toning to it. So does that one. But you know, that's something that collectors specifically look for, is that rainbow color, that toning that might be carried in the coin itself. And the last thing, just to recap what we talked about last time, is the banding, right? So this time I'm going to give you two of the same type of coin. Last time I gave you I think it was a 41 and a 41D. These are both 41s, but one of them has full bands and one of them doesn't. So again, you can see the condition. It's not perfect. It's in pretty good condition, right? But let's look at the banding on the back. So this is one that does not have full bands. And as we zoom in, you can see that center band is joined. There's no definite separation. Actually, the bottom band is joined as well. No definite separation, right? And we'll go over to the other one. And let's look at the difference. A little bit harder to see. You got some very bright sunlight today. There we go. Let's cover it up. The definition between the banding. And I apologize when I'm zoomed in. Any slight movement will make the whole thing shake, but those are generally the things you're going to look for. So if you find one that is a key date, plus a really good condition coin, plus it's got full banding, you're probably sitting on a pretty awesome piece, and it might be something you might want to consider sending in to get graded. And of course, if you did ever have any questions, there's a huge YouTube and Instagram community. And what I always recommend is that people make friends with their local coin dealer. If you don't have one, find a local town near you that might have one and get on their good side, because they are a wealth of information and knowledge. And I would always recommend that people learn from them, right? They've got years and years, sometimes, a few decades of background knowledge on, their subject matter experts, right? So they know this stuff. And they can tell you just by looking at a coin, okay, what's the year, what's the mintage, is it a key date? Great, let's look if it's got full banding. Awesome, yes, send it in, and when you get it back, I'll buy it from you. They'll say stuff like that. So, and they're usually pretty trustworthy too, at least the ones that I've dealt with. Thankfully, I've been lucky enough to deal with some pretty good people. And I find generally they do want to, they want to treat us well, because, we'll be repeat customers, and if nothing else, they want to keep us engaged in the community. So let me know your thoughts, and go ahead and hit the like button and the bell, and yeah, look forward to seeing you guys.